Hello everyone. This session represent the unit 3 of investment management called bond valuation. So the theory part Impa ma'am already explained that. When it comes to the problem, so here you have problems on the time value of money concept. So the time value of money concept already you have understood in the second semester, that is in the subject called financial management. So time value of money represent the savings and the investment. It includes the savings and the investment. So whenever you invest the money in the zero here, it will generate the return in the first year onward. So we study that in time value of money concept. So time value of money means like a rupee today it's more worth than a rupee tomorrow. A rupee today it's more worth than a rupee tomorrow. So whatever we have a money of 100 rupees in our pocket today, so if you invest the money that into any kinds of investment, okay, if you take in the point of bonds or debenture, so it will generate a yield, it will generate the return in the upcoming year. So instead of keep your money idle, you put that into the any kind of investment, so that we call it as like time value of money. So in the unit 3 problems, like we have time value of money concept. So whatever we have understood in the second semester time value of money concept, that is present value, future value, present value annuity, future annuity, so the loan amortization schedule, so that we relate into the bond valuation, we put it into bond valuation. So here we have plenty number of problems pertaining to the bond and security. So here first, if you take in the beginning, we are going to understand the basic level of bond valuation. So later on we can go for like question paper problem solution. So first let us understand the simple problem. So if you understand the basic level of like what problems on bond valuation, so then it is very easy to understand the problems from the question paper. Okay, so let us move on to the basic problems on bond valuation. So here we consider the time value of money. Here we consider the time value of money. So we have to consider the present value, future value, then holding period we consider, then we consider yield to maturity. So those things will be applied for the calculation of bond valuation. Okay, this is about the simple introduction on problems on bond valuation. So moving on to the first problem. So in the first problem, if 100 rupees are put in a savings bank account, if investor puts 100 rupees in a saving bank account for 1 year, if we put it into the bank account for 1 year, so what is the future value? So if he put 100 rupees, okay, if he put 100 rupees today, 100 rupees today, if we put 100 rupees today in the bank account, so how much he will generate? How much he will generate in the like upcoming year? So here they have not mentioned the maturity period. So they have given the present value. With the help of present value, we are going to find out the future value, isn't it? So here whatever they have put 100 rupees today, it is present value. It is present value. Okay, so we have to find out the future value. Okay, so whenever they ask you to calculate the future value, apply the formula, that is future value is equal to present value into 1 plus R. 1 plus R. Okay, so we have to apply the future value formula in order to find out the future value with the help of present value. Okay, so here the present value is 100 rupees. 100 rupees they have given. Okay. So 1 plus R, the rate of return they have mentioned, it is 6%. Okay, here the R is equal to 6%. R represent rate of interest. So we take 1 as per the formula rule, then we put 6%. 6% means 0.06. Okay, it is 0.06. Then 100 into 1.06. Multiply these two, so you will get 106. This is 106. So if you invest today, that is 100 rupees, they will get 106 rupees after maturity period. So maturity period they have not given. When they don't give maturity period, so we calculate like this. So it may happen within 1 year. It may happen within 1 year. So that is called as calculation of future value. Okay. Next, moving on to the another basic problem, second problem. Suppose rupees 100 is put for 2 years. If 100 rupees put it for 2 years in bank or any kind of savings, okay, at the rate of 6%, what is the future value if they put it for 2 years? So here they have given the maturity period, before they have not given the maturity period. So first you take the given value, okay, in the given value, so they have given 100 rupees. 100 rupees is present value, okay, it is present value. Then they have given 2 years, 2 years it is equal to T, that is time, okay. Then R is equal to how much they have given, that is 6%. Okay, so given values are 100 rupees, it is a present value, and 2 is like T, and R is equal to 6%. So when they give the maturity period, then we will apply another formula. So on that time we apply future value is equal to present value into 1 plus R to the power of T, 1 plus R to the power of T. So we apply this concept. So when it comes to future value, so future value is equal to present value is 100 rupees, 100 rupees we have to consider. 1 plus R is equal to 0.06, so here T is equal to how much, it is 2 to the power of 2, okay. So we have to find out, so 1 plus 0.06 to the power of 2. So first you identify that. So if you have 100 rupees here, 1 plus 1.0.06 to the power of 2. So 100 into, so you will get, if you do the power value of this much, so you will get 1.1236. You will get 1.1236. Fine. So then what is the total value? 100 into 1.1236. Okay, you will get 112.36. 112.36. This is the future value after 2 years. So if you invest 100 rupees today in the 0 here at the rate of 6% for a maturity period of 2 years, you will get 112.36. okay, so you will get extra 12 rupee plus 36 paisa. Okay, this is the calculation when they give the value of T. Hope you understood. Next, moving on to the third problem. Today's worth of 100 rupees, to be received after a year at 10% interest. So okay, so here today's worth of 100 rupees, okay, to be received after a year. So here the future value is given. After a year, after 1 year, 100 rupees will be received at 10% interest. So we have to find out the present value. So here they have given the future value. With the help of future value and the time and the rate of interest, we have to find out the present value. So ulta we have to find out here. So then moving on to the third one, that is okay, given values. Future value they have given, future value is 100, fine. Then R is equal to 10% and present value is equal to question mark. So on that time we have to find out the present value. So they have given the future value. Before, in the previous problem, they have given the present value, but in this case they have given the future value. Ulta we have to find out. So if they give after the maturity period, what is the sum assured amount? If they given sum assured amount, we have to find out the beginning value. Okay, we have to find out the beginning value. So then we have to apply the formula, that is present value formula. Present value is equal to, okay, when the given future value and we supposed to find out present value. So on that time formula will be present value is equal to future value divided by 1 plus R divided by 1 plus R, that is interest rate. Okay, so F is equal to future value, PV is equal to present value, R is equal to rate of interest. Fine. So future value is how much? 100 divided by 1 plus R. R is equal to 10%, that is 0.10. 0.10. Okay, so you do dividing of this into 1 plus 0.10. So how much will get? Will get 90.9. Will get 90.9. So 90 rupees and 90.90 or 9, you can take it. Okay, this is calculation of present value. So present value 90 rupees, 0 year value 90 rupees and future value is 100 rupees. Fine, this is how we have calculated present value. So moving on to the another problem, fourth problem, that is, so now I am doing the basic problem. So once I do basic problem, then I will go for the question paper problems and the solution. So these are the basic problem. No need to show the problems here. So I just write the given data, whatever they have mentioned in the problem, based on that I am going to calculate. So next, moving on, today's worth of 100 rupees to be received. Today's worth of 100 rupees to be received after 2 years. Okay, today's worth of 100 rupees to be received after 2 years at 10% rate of interest. At 10% rate of interest. Find the future value. Find the present value. We have to find out the present value. So they have given the today's worth of 100 rupees that is received after 2 years. Okay, so they have mentioned the maturity period, that is T they have mentioned at the rate of 10%. So find out the future, find out the present value. Find out the present value. So we have to find out the present value here. So first you write down the given values. Fourth one. So in the given value, they have mentioned future value. Future value is equal to 100 rupees. Okay. Then R is equal to 10%. T is equal to 2 years. Okay. Then PV is equal to question mark. PV is equal to question mark. So they have given the future value, R value, then T value. So we have to find out the present value. Okay. So you find out here in the previous problem they have not given the T value, but in this problem they have given the T value. That is present value is equal to future value divided by 1 plus R to the power of T. Future value divided by 1 plus R to the power of T. They have mentioned. Okay. So future value is 100. 1 plus R is equal to 0.10 to the power of 2. To the power of 2. 100 divided by 1.010 to the power of 2. So here we have 100. 100 divided by 1.21. 100 divided by 1.21. So we will get 82.64. 100 divided by 1.21 will get 82.64. So if present value is 82.64, then future value could be 100 rupees. So always we can say that future value is more than the present value, or present value is lesser than the future value. So here they have given the T value. T value is 2 years. With the help of that we got 82.64. This is how we have to calculate the present value and future value. Hope you understood. So, next moving on. Holding period return. Next moving on to another concept, that is holding period return. So, in the holding period return, what do you mean by holding period return? So, in the holding period return, we consider the price of the investment or the price of the script, whether it is gained or loss, okay, whether it is gained or loss. So, at what price they have issued in the beginning and at what price it got matured. So, we consider that, okay. So, based on the price movements, whether it is loss or gain. So, we find out that one, okay. So, based on the like price gain or a loss, we find out the holding period return. So, holding period return is a return to be calculated in order to see the average return, in order to see the actual return by considering the price gain or price loss. This is called as holding period return. So, I repeat once again, holding period return is a return it's actual return calculated based on the consideration of price gain or a price loss. This is called as holding period return. So, holding period return helps us to find out like the actual return, exact return we can find out here. So, in order to find out the exact return, so we go for holding period return, okay, that is holding period return. So, we can take a formula for this one. We have a formula in order to calculate the holding period return. Holding period return is equal to price gain or loss okay, plus coupon interest rate, coupon interest rate divided by price at the beginning of the holding period. Price at the beginning of holding period. Price at the beginning of the holding period whole into 100. Okay, as I said in the theory part, we consider price gain or loss plus coupon interest rate divided by price at the beginning of holding period whole into 100. We consider this. So, by considering this formula, we find out the HPR value, how much it is. Okay. So, moving on to the problem. Next problem, problem number 5 you can take. Till 4 we have done it. I will just rub the board. Problem number 5, an investor purchases a bond for 900 rupees, an investor purchases a bond for 900 rupees which bears a coupon rate of interest, of 100 rupees. Okay. He sold the bond for rupees 1000. He sold the bond for rupees 1000. Find the holding period return. Find out the holding period return. So, we have to find out the holding period return here. So, here they have given the purchase value, the base value they have given, that is 900 rupees. They bought it for 900, it is beginning prices, and which bears a coupon rate of interest of 100 rupees. So, 100 rupees is the coupon interest rate. Coupon interest rate is 100 rupees, and he sold the bond of 1000. So, 1000 is the like what the selling price. The selling price is 1000 rupees. Find the holding period return. So, we have to find out the holding period return. Okay. So, the given values are the given values are, they have given purchase price of bond, purchase price of bond is 900 rupees. Okay. Then the coupon rate of interest is 100 rupees. The coupon rate of interest is 100 rupees, and the sale price of bond, the sale price of bond is 1000 rupees, is 1000 rupees. Okay. So, based on this we have to find out holding period return. What is the holding period return? So, in this problem they have given the purchase price of bond for 900 rupees and the coupon rate of interest is 100 rupees, and as well as sales price of the bond is 1000 rupees. They bought it for 900 and at the rate or a value of 100 rupees, and they sold it for 1000 rupees. Okay, they sold it for 1000 rupees. This is the data they have given. So, by applying the formula we will be calculating holding period return. So, let us write down the formula. Holding period return. Holding period return is equal to price gain or loss plus price gain or loss plus coupon interest rate divided by price at the beginning of holding period whole into 100. Okay. First we find out whether we got price gain or loss. Okay, whether we got price gain or loss. Okay, so we bought it for 900 and we sold for 1000. We bought it for 900 and we sold for 1000. So, what it mean? Here it is a gain, isn't it? Here we have a gain. So, we bought it for 900 and we sold it for how much? 1000, isn't it? So, here we have the gain of how much? We have a gain of 100 rupees. We have a gain of 100 rupees, isn't it? So, take 100 rupees, the price gain, we have a gain, we do not have a loss. The coupon interest rate is how much? 100 divided by price at the beginning of the holding period is how much? That is 900 rupees. Okay. So 100 plus 100, it is 200 whole into 100 you can do, divided by 900 whole into 100. 200 divided by 900 whole into 100, that is equal to 22.22. 22.22%, that is holding period return. Okay. So here we can understand whether we got gain or a loss based on the like purchase price and the selling price. So by considering that, we find out the exact holding period return. Fine. This is the problem on holding period return. Next, moving on to problem on current yield. Okay, the current yield, the current return we are going to find out here. So in this like concept, the investor going to find out the current return or the present return is going to find out. So based on the annual interest and the market price, based on the annual interest and the market price, the current yield can be calculated. So here in the current yield, like investor like calculating the present value of the investment by considering the annual interest payment as well as market price. So by taking these two components, the current yield can be calculated. So here there is a formula to calculate the current yield, that is current yield is equal to annual interest divided by market price whole into 100. Annual interest divided by market price whole into 100. Okay. So what do you mean by like what annual interest? So annual interest means the total 1 year like payment, 1 year return. Then market price, what is the market price at the end of the year? So that we consider, we will find out the current yield. So we can take a problem on that. So next problem, that is problem number 6. The coupon payment is 8%. The coupon payment, the coupon rate of interest is 8% for 100 rupees bond with the same market price. The coupon payment is 8% for 100 rupees bond with the same market price. Find the yield. Find the yield. So here the coupon payment is like 8% for 100 rupees bond. Okay, the market price also same as the bond price, that is also 100 rupees. So if that is the case, what could be the current yield? Okay, so in this problem, problem number 6, the current yield. Okay, so the given values, first you write down the given values. They have given annual interest. Annual interest is how much? That is 8%. Okay, and 8% into 100 is 8% only. 8% into 100, 8% only. Then market price is MP is the same of the bond value, that is 100 rupees. That is 100 rupees. So 8 divided by 100 into, apply the formula, current yield is equal to annual interest divided by market price whole into 100. 8 divided by 100 whole into 100. So you will get how much? 8%. You will get 8%. This is the problem on current yield. Okay. Next, moving on to yield to maturity. Next concept is yield to maturity. Yield to maturity, that is YTM. Okay. So, in the yield to maturity, like we are going to calculate the maturity value in terms of percentage. Okay. So, if you invest 1000 rupees today, after the specified period, after the maturity period, how much percentage of return you are going to be benefited? You are going to be benefited. So, that benefit value will be represented in terms of percentage. So, that percentage is called as yield to maturity. So, I repeat once again, in the yield to maturity, we consider the face value and we consider the interest rate of the investment. So, based on that we are going to find out the benefit value, how much value we are going to get in the future. So, that value will be represented in terms of percentage. So, we call it as yield to maturity. So, you have problem on yield to maturity also. So, you have a formula for yield to maturity. Yield to maturity is equal to YTM is equal to C. Okay. So, we take the C value plus P or D divided by YTM, okay, YTM divided by P naught plus face value all divided by 2. Okay, we can take, instead of YTM we can take it as a Y, yield we can take it here. Y is equal to C plus P or D by YTM all divided by P naught plus face value by 2 for P naught as well as face value. Okay. So, here this Y is equal to yield to maturity, the C is equal to coupon rate interest, P is equal to premium, D is equal to discount, P naught is equal to current price or present price, and then face value we have considered. Okay, fine. So, based on that we can go for the problem. So, moving on to the problem, an investor purchases 4-year bond with 7% coupon rate. The investor purchase like 4-year bond for 7% interest and the maturity value of rupees 1000. The currently it is being sold at 905. What is the YTM? Okay, what is the YTM? So, first you can take the given values. The given value, that is problem number 7. Problems on YTM. First you consider the given value. So, they have given this, the C value they have given, how much it is? It is 70. Fine. The coupon value they have given. Then this one, the premium or a discount. So, in this problem they have given the discount. The discount value we have to find out here, that is 1000, we have 1000 into 70%. So, we have to find out the D value. So, D is equal to 1000 into 7%. You can take it, 7% is the bond value, 7%, that is 70, you will get it. Okay. So, 70 you will get it. So, 905 minus 1000 is equal to 95. Is equal to how much? It is 95 is the discount. Okay. Then 95 is the discount, D is 95, then D is 95, fine. Then YTM is maturity period 4 years. ಯಾವಾಗ ಮೆಚೂರ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅದು 4 years ಗೆ, YTM is 4. Then they have given the current price how much, that is current price P naught P naught is equal to how much they have given? 905. This is the P naught. Then face value is 1000. Then apply the formula, that is YTM or Y is equal to C plus, here we have a P YTM divided by P naught plus face value by 2. Okay, C is equal to 70 plus P is equal to, that is the premium, so here we have a discount, not the premium, discount. So discount is how much? 95 by 4 divided by P naught is how much? 905, face value is 1000 divided by 2. So calculate, you will get, find out the value of that one. So the total value you will get 9.8%. You will get 9.8%. This is called problem on yield to maturity. This is how they give the problem, simple problem. So if you understand a simple problem, then it is very easy to understand the question paper problem. Okay. Thank you so much.